Hey everyone, welcome to College Algebra. This is a course that I'm teaching here in Zimmerman, and we work with the Pine Technical and Community College so that you get three college credits through Pine Tech and Community College, and it will transfer to any Minnesota State institution. And so then it will also go to a whole lot of the other Minnesota, the MIAC schools, things like that. But for sure, these 3 credits count. You don't have to take an extra AP test or anything. They just count in the Minnesota State system. So, just some things that I want to go over with you, not with the whole class in person, but I'm just making a video so we can do it in a little bit shorter time, but you still hear my voice. So, all of this class will run through Schoology. We will do things in class, but I'm trying to be a little bit more creative this year, so sometimes we'll have basic lectures, sometimes we'll do station rotation, sometimes we'll do more project-y things. We're going to use a textbook called Algebra and Trigonometry by Blitzer, and we're going to use an actual book to do a lot of the activities, but I might use some online stuff as well. So, course information, it's called College Algebra. At the Pine Tech and Community College, it's called Math 1260. So that's like the college name for it. You get 3 hours assuming that you have passed your AccuPlacer test or you got a math score of 22 or higher on your ACT. For College Algebra, we have a little bit more time to do that. So talk to Mrs. Brenny, the counselor, if you still need to work through that AccuPlacer, and we will do some of that through class as well. This course has a few outcomes. I'm not going to read everything. You will get this document, and you can read for yourself. But by the end of the course, you'll be able to graph polynomial and rational functions. You'll be able to transform graphs, use models to solve problems, solve exponential and logarithmic equations, and perform some basic operations on matrices. And those matrices, that's just great stuff. Juniors will probably hit that before the ACT for you. Student expectations. This, I'm going to read through and talk through it. The college standard is that for 1 semester credit hour for undergraduates, that's meant to represent 3 hours of academic work per week. For the average, I say average student who has the expected preparation for the courses that he or she is enrolled in. Now this is a 3-credit course, so that means I would expect you to work 9 hours a week on just this class. So we're going to meet for 255 minutes in our, like 51, 54, I don't know, close to whatever, 51-minute classes. So that's about 4 hours and 15 minutes during the week. That means you get to spend 4 hours and 45 minutes of work at home. Now, some of you will need more than that. Some of you will need less than that. But for a lot of you in Algebra 2, you didn't have to do a ton of home fun. Here, it's an actual college class, so you might have to work harder, and the expectation is that you will be doing work outside of class. And if you don't, it will not go well for you. So, you should expect to work approximately an extra hour at home for every class meeting, assuming that you're at the level the mathematics department expects for students in this course. If your background's a little weaker, it'll take a little bit more. If you desire to be successful in this class, it is imperative, that means super duper important, that you complete your outside assignments. As a part of these outside assignments, you're going to be expected to participate in student-led study groups. So that's not in class, that's not during AVID if you're AVID, actually outside of class doing some student-led study groups. And I'll tell you more about that. We'll talk through that later. It's also expected that you would actually come to class on time. It's not first hour that you have this, so get here on time. If you need to be absent for any reason, you need to let me know early, and you need to check in with me before your absence. If any assessment is missed, it has to be completed within 1 week of the absence. Sometimes you're like, oh, I feel sick today, cough, cough, because it's test day. Nah, get here on test days. And if you're gone, it needs to be done within a week. If you feel that you have extenuating circumstances, like if there's something major that has happened in life and you just can't do things, then come and talk to me immediately. I will work with you if you come and talk to me immediately. If you have not done your assignments for 3 weeks and it's the test tomorrow, and then you're like, oh, I had a game, I didn't get home until noon, or not noon, midnight, so I can't do my home fun. There's not grace for that. Get your stuff done early. Don't wait until the last minute, because if you wait until the last minute, you're kind of out of luck. So let's see. Tips for success for completing this course. Participate in class. Set aside time each week to complete the web work and paper assignments. Identify backup plans for technology challenges. Sometimes the internet doesn't work. What are you going to do about it? Ask questions when you don't understand something. Ask if you're unsure how to respond to an assignment. And regularly check campus to see how you're doing. Here's how I'm going to grade. Summative 80%, formative 20%. So summative, there will be 100 points for every unit. So say, for example, Chapter 1, 100 points. Chapter 2, 100 points. It might be split into more than one exam or project. I have some new things that I want to do with assessments, but the chapter is going to be worth 100 points. Then we will have a final exam, and that will be worth 100 points as well. Formative assessments. Last year we tried 0% on formative assessments. As most of you know, that didn't work. So 20% for book assignments. I'm going to show you something called web work, formative quizzes and Schoology, all of that formative home fun type stuff, 20%. Here is what it looks like, final Pine Tech grading. So you have this course with me at Zimmerman for 2 semesters, but it all goes together for one final grade. That's your college grade at Pine Tech. So this here looks a little bit different. I'm going to go with the Pine Tech grading, which says that an A is 92 to 100%. Sweet! A minus 90 to 91. Okay, but also look down, F, below 67%. Okay, but if you're below 67%, we need to have some chats. And you are responsible for those chats. Will I chase you down? Sometimes. But you have to put in more effort than me. We're also going to do some other cool activities called self-regulated learning, because you're going to go off to maybe college or tech school soon, so we need to figure out, or you need to figure out, how are you going to be successful when you do that. So we'll have a how I earned an A in this course essay you'll write. We'll do some knowledge surveys, some study groups, student target assessment reflections, but we'll talk more about those as a later date. Policies. I'm going to expect you to read these. Academic honesty means don't cheat. You will not receive credit for work that is submitted that is not your own original work. 0. You will not get credit. Don't cheat. If you're working with people, great. If you're copying, you don't learn anything. A course withdrawal. If you choose to withdraw from this class, you have a certain amount of time, and if you do it after that, it stays on your record forever. Like when you get to college, if you have a W, that puts you on academic probation right away. So if you're going to drop, you had to figure out how to work it out. No, don't drop it. We'll get through it together. And then there's some accessibility, academic alert, extra help. This is going to be a challenging class. And I am with you, and I'm so excited. But mistakes are what make your brain grow. And challenge is how you get better. We're not looking for fast. We're looking for good and hard work. So I'm super excited to have you. This is going to be a great year.